All right. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to another live episode of the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rozier here. No Marvin Green, not Marvin Green, Marvin, Marcus Green. We will have Marvin Green on the show. No Marcus, Jesus. No Marcus Green, but we will have Marvin Green on the show. So that's spoiler alert. Yeah, a little bit of that. What's good, Kelvin? How you doing, man, as I try to get myself together here?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Doing wonderful. Watching March Madness, man. It's that time of year. And the HBCUs thus far are representing themselves quite nicely.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Congratulations again to Howard University, to Howard Bison. Coach Kenny Blakeney got the program's first ever NCAA tournament victory last night. Prairie View leading right now in the game against Lehigh. I don't know if this potentially could be Prairie View's first win in the tournament. I know they were in the tournament back in 2019. Don't recall their results, although there was this great article that I posted that actually Stan Becton did. Shout out to Stan, who works for the NCAA.com. Stan posted a nice summary of all of the HBCUs that have been in the, quote, play-in games / first four. Of course, our beloved Rattlers, almost 20 years since we were last in the tournament, 2007, when we were last in the tournament, winning the MEAC championship. At that time, you recall, Kelvin, it was the play-in game. It was one game because it was just a 65-team field. For whatever reason, they made it 65. And then I think it was a few years later when they moved to calling it the first four, where now they would move it to a field of 68. So they basically added 3 teams, called it the field of 68, so on and so forth. But it is what it is. Of course, FAMU famously won a game in the play-in game in 2003. Both the 2003 and 2007 under Coach Mike Gillespie. So, you know.
What's up, Coach?
Exactly. Hey, I remember we had Coach on last year. So it was good to talk to him about those glory years, and hopefully one day soon we'll be back. But 2003, the Rattlers did win the play-in game and advanced to go on and play Kentucky. In the first round.
And played well.
And, you know, it's funny. In 2003, we beat Lehigh, who is Lehigh playing Prairie View A&M right now. Down 6, halfway through the second half. So, you know, good luck to Prairie View. I mean, we want to see the SWAC win. So
absolutely. We want to see all HBCUs do well in the tournament And Prairie View is a guard-oriented team with two 20-point scores. So they are kind of made for a game like this against Lehigh. So I expect them to hold on and bring it home for the SWAC.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. So in hour number 2, we're gonna get in. Actually, hour number 1, we'll catch up on a lot of stuff going on. Of course, the end of the basketball season was last week, and again, thank you to everybody who checked out last Wednesday's watch party / show. Heartbreaking loss last week. Actually, we won that game Wednesday. It was Friday. Friday's watch party was the heartbreaking loss. So we appreciate everybody who joined us on Friday for the SWAC basketball semifinals in that game. And so good numbers. Appreciate everybody's support. Maybe we'll do more of those kind of things in the future. Seemed like folks really enjoyed it. We might have inspired some people because I know I've seen our good friend Mr. Campbell and them. They're doing a watch party for the Prairie View game today. So we might have. I mean, not that we originated it. I'm not going to go that bold, but we just might have inspired some people. That's all.
People watch what we do and say. We can say that.
Okay, I love it. And so we'll catch up on that. A good weekend series for baseball and softball. So we'll talk about that here in the first hour and what's ahead in the upcoming SWAC series for both of those two programs. Also coming up this week, the SWAC Bowling Tournament Championship. Or SWAC, so I may have said it wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. That's coming up this weekend. So we'll break down the schedule for that. Outdoor track and field begins their first meet of the year. And so we'll see where the Rattlers will be. Then in hour number 2, guest spots. We got 2 great guests. We've got Marvin Green. Spoiler alert, I mentioned that earlier. The Chief Giving Officer for FAMU Athletics and the Marching 100. And Marvin was very instrumental. If you recall, if you've seen the video, the Marching 100's victory performance, which I will admit, Kelvin, I have not heard this song on NBA Prime. I don't watch NBA Prime. I don't even know half the time when it's on. But I guess that's the theme. I don't know. That's the theme song.
Like Monday Night Football has, Get Rowdy or whatever that country song is.
Basketball Rocks that NBC has and stuff. Yeah. So I get it. That I just have never heard the original version, but I guess Common, or is it the Common version? I don't know. Common did the version for Amazon Prime. I guess that's what it is.
We're gonna let Marvin sort it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him explain it. But anyway, what we did see is we saw Marvin there with the Marching 100 as that video was being shot, and we've all seen the video. So that is awesome. And then at the bottom of hour 2, Oluwamodupe Oloyede. I've been practicing. Like for 2 days now. I don't know if I got it right, but AKA Dupe Oloyede of the Marching 100. The young lady, she is the head drum major of the Marching 100, and what an amazing year. And more recently, the last couple of weeks have been for her, as she has been featured and gone viral in 2 different instances, as many of you have seen on social media.
She has had one of the best senior years a Rattler could have. It's been amazing.
Yeah. I mean, she has really been a feature not only in the fall during the, from as far back as the announcement, but even through the start of the football season, homecoming, there have been iconic moments and pictures, and then the spring Of course, she recently became a member of the Beta Alpha chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. And so then there was that Initiate show, and that went viral. Shout out to Vaughn Wilson, HBCU Game Day, helping to make that possible. And then, of course, she was a part of the Oscars this past Sunday, matter of fact. So we get a chance to talk to her. I mean, that's pretty cool that we get a chance to talk to a young lady, a Rattler who is having a great year. And so lots of questions, and I'm fascinated at so much. So I look forward to talking to her. That's in hour number 2. So make sure you guys lock in to that. Shout out to the folks joining us as folks are coming in slowly but surely. Jimmy Mack coming in. Shout out to Jimmy Mack. Exactly. Happy spring sports season. That's exactly what we got going on. Spring sports. Kenneth checking in. Good to see you, Kenneth. Thank you for checking in. Bulls in the building. Good to see you. Dr. Melissa Wilson checking in.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Yes, indeed. We are looking good. I think the lead up to 10 now. Going into the I just saw was the lead 10. Prairie View doing the doggone thing. I had Prairie View. Let me just say I had Prairie View. I was all on the Prairie View bandwagon. Let me see. Zeke Love, good to see you. Thanks for checking in. This is a great week of basketball. Meredith, thank you for being a JBN subscriber and checking in. Good to see you. B Starks as well. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. James Austin. I'm not sure what James is available for, but glad to have you in the building or in the chat. Ashton Harris, what up, Ashton? Good to see you.
Hello, Pico.
Nakiba West, thank you for checking in, family. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber as well. Little baby. Good to see you, little baby. Marvin Allen in the house, in the chats. Mary 305, thank you for being a JBN subscriber. Karen Griffin's on the West Coast. Good to see you, Karen. Chuck Hunt checking in. Good to see you, Chuck. Let's see. Joel Banks checking in. Good to see you, Joel. Thanks for checking in. Kev from Tally.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Erie is in the house. Good to see you, Erie. DQ Wilson, thank you for being a JBN subscriber.
Huh?
Yeah. Let me see. I love Chuck's. Chuck, what did he say? Chuck says Coach Byron is 90 minutes west from him in Bossier City, Louisiana. Bossier City. I don't know what kind of accent that was, but I don't think that was my Louisiana accent. That was what the hell that was. Hello, Hollow.
Midwestern Southern.
Midwestern Southern drawl. Okay, well, let's put a bow on the 2025-26 Rattler basketball season as it came to an end. I found this little graphic, Kelvin. I'm gonna start here. Remember this preseason predictions. Preseason predictions, right? This is the start of the season. Southern on the ladies' side, the preseason favorite, ended up winning the tournament. Alabama A&M was number 2 in the preseason. They won the regular season. Notice down there, FAMU preseason 8th. We finished 8th in the standings. Huh? On the men's side, we were preseason 8th. We finished tied for 2nd, won the tiebreaker over Southern. So finished 6 spots above expectation. A lot of the other spots are really similar to where I think a lot of people expected those teams to be. You know, I think, and notice right behind us, Prairie View, who was preseason number 9, they were 8th in the tournament. They won the doggone thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Kelvin, I ask you, how do we evaluate the season based on the predicted order of finish, people's preseason expectations? We'll start with the women first.
For the women's team, it was about as expected or predicted. We had a one streak where we went on early, where we won about 4 games in a row. Outside of that, we would win, then we would lose. So we finished in the middle of the pack. I thought this team had pieces. They had some talent. Um, I would have liked to gotten a little more out of them um, during the season. However, in the tournament, I was very pleased with their performance. You know, they beat Bethune-Cookman for the second time, and within a week,
Right.
they ended the season beating them in a close game, and then they went to the tournament and won in a close game. And then came the game against Alabama A&M, and what that game really came down to is Alabama A&M knows how to close and finish. But our young ladies and our coaches had a great game plan, and for the most part, they executed it. And so I would say for the women, the tournament was somewhat successful because they played as well as they could play. I thought just about so during
Um,
regular season, I would have liked to see more. Tournament, I thought they displayed a lot of fight and grit.
I'm going back into the history. So the 3 seasons under Coach Gordon, 9 and 21. That's year 1. 9 and 20 in year 2. 9 and 22 in year 3. I'm digging through the archives here. That's the best seasons we have had since the 2016-2017 season, when we finished 12 and 18 overall, 9 and 7 in conference. That might have been Liv's year, 2016-17. And the year before that, we were 8 and 19. So if I just did a 10-year retrospective, right? Just looking at the past 10 years, 3 consecutive years of 9 wins now is the best since that one season I mentioned. Every other season is 6 wins, 6 wins, 3 wins. And it's a tough, I don't know where you look. It's tough to evaluate. I know what we want, Rattler Nation. I know what you guys in the chats want. And I think the big question that AD Davis has to establish an answer: has a foundation for greater success been laid with what has been accomplished over 3 years under Coach Gordon? Because it is better than anything we've done previously over the past 10 years. Now, that's a low bar. I get it. But I think that's the challenge. And I'm eager to see how this plays out. And as many of you are aware or don't know, Coach Gordon is on a 3-year deal. When she joined FAMU or became a part of the FAMU League 2 athletic directors ago. And so this completed year 3. Any thoughts? Anything you want to say or respond to my comments there, Kelvin?
What I will say is, I don't know about the stability part. That 9 win is a low bar, just being honest. And what I mean by I don't know about stability is because the staff has changed every year, and the roster has changed every year. So, is there really a foundation?
Mm,
That's how I
good
look
point.
at it. I mean, Olivia Delancey, who in the tournament with Southern,
Yeah.
and 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 I went back and looked, and there's about at least 12 players who had eligibility who were with the team that went to other teams, and a lot of them have had success with their other teams. So yeah, there's definitely a decision that has to be made, and it should be made fairly quickly for everybody involved, whichever whatever that decision is. I'm not gonna weigh in on that decision. That's up to the administration, but those are some things I look at.
All right. Moving over to the men's side again, year one under Coach Ward. You've seen the expectations to where we were to where we've gone from 8-2, finishing with was it a 500 season, or is it just did we just miss
One
500?
that last game we lost put us under 500. We were
Okay,
at 500 when we
all
played
right.
it.
So 15-16 overall record, 11-7 in conference play, 8-4 at home. Pretty good home record, 5-11 away. If you had to grade this season, what grade would you give for FAMU men basketball?
I give it a B plus.
Yeah.
Had we pull off the win against Southern and won the tournament, it would have been an A plus, easy. But this was a new team, new staff. We didn't have a reliable point guard, and we didn't have a we had some folks who could get streaky 3-point shooters, but we didn't have a 3-point shooter that was consistent every game, and we were still able to defeat everybody we played except in the conference except Alabama A&M,
Mm-hmm.
and we only played what Texas Southern once.
Right.
But this team showed a lot of resiliency, and they got better. After they got that 5-game streak to start off the season, then they went on what a 4-game losing streak, and then it was
Mm-hmm.
1 game win, 1 game lose for about 3 weeks. Then they ended the season with what a 5-game win streak,
Yeah,
and
five of six, something like that. Yeah, 4-game
yeah,
win streak, 5 of 6.
yeah,
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 going into the tournament.
and then that tournament game, the second one, the game against Southern,
Mm-hmm.
last shot buzzer beater in a game that we turned the ball over, I think 20 plus times, which led to a lot of fast break or transition baskets. We had we played our typical game a little bit more cleaner, that game wouldn't have come down to the last second shot, but we still fought through all of that and had an opportunity. So uh, kudos to Coach Ward and staff and the players. They they made us proud.
No, for sure, no doubt. I think we have probably about 5 or 6 roster spots that will be opening up from
I think it's
departed
6.
departed seniors. That opens the door for potentially a good recruiting class. It'd be interesting to see who stays. Again, in this transfer portal era, we've already seen SWAC schools lose top scorers. There's a school in the East along with us You know, actually a couple of schools in Mississippi that have lost their top scorers. Valley's top scorer, who was an all SWAC selection in the portal. The school in Jackson, their second and third leading scorer in the portal. Top scorer is gone. I haven't heard anything, Grambling, rookie of the year, freshman of the year, in the portal, so it'll be fascinating to watch and see, because I do think Charlie Ward's demeanor and his ability, there's going to be such a big improvement for Coach Ward going from year 1 to 2. And I think he did a great job of crediting his coaching staff, who did have college experience, for their role in this year's success. And I think now there's going to be things that maybe, there's always things you don't know in year 1 that as you go into year 2, just like a player would, a coach is going to see he's going to improve. And so I expect a great deal of improvement for Coach Ward in this upcoming season. And I think part of that, and I tell you, for those of you who've never, there's a clip running, I don't know if you heard this, Kelvin, from Coach Blakeney. And I think he said this, it after the win for Howard the other day. He talked about building a culture. And he talked about all in his playing career, he followed a culture at DeMatha High School in Maryland, at Duke University. He talked about following a culture, but he admitted he didn't know how to build a culture. And he spent it took a couple of years for him to figure out how to build one, because again, he had followed one. And so his ability to learn and admit what you don't know and be open to learning and growing as a coach and a leader of young men, those kind of things resonate, right? And I think, so when I heard him say that, that's why Howard's had success, winning three of the last 4 championships in the MEAC. And so I think Coach Ward is the perfect person to be able to bridge that gap of building a culture. And he talked about it a little bit in his post game after the game against Southern, and the foundation of what it took for this team to be the kind of team that they wound up being, the kind of team that, like you said, Kelvin, could start off hot and then go into a tail dive, losing so many games, and then be able to find their way out of it. Case in point, look at Prairie View. There was a point in the season where Prairie View had lost 7 of 8, and then they closed it strong at the end of the season where they won 9 of 10 and possibly on the verge of winning 10 of 11. But that doesn't happen without a coach understanding who he is and what he wants his program to be. And so as Coach Ward goes about the process of recruiting the new 6 guys or so, I think we can expect some big things from FAMU and from Coach Ward going in the future. So I'm excited. But so I like your rating, B+. I saw a couple other people in the chat also give a B+. And I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. I want to see Coach come back, but I also think that there has to be, coming back has to come with expectations of, and both ways, one way or the other. It's like, hey, if we hit certain marks, hey, reward those marks. If we don't hit those marks, then so be it. But I hope that with her top 7 players all remaining with eligibility to come back next year, that could be a major factor in what happens in the future, because we haven't seen stability, as you mentioned. If we can get stability, who knows what this team could be in year 2. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. You guys keep the chat going. When we come back on the other side, we're going to talk about the good wins over the weekend for softball and baseball, as both the Rattlers, the Lady Rattlers on the softball diamond swept Mississippi Valley State, and the baseball team won 2 out of 3 over Southern. So a lot to talk about there and what's upcoming for them. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. You guys keep it locked in. Hit the thumbs up and the like button if you would as you're watching. We'll be back right after these words.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
Welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan, Kelvin. Look at Larry. Appreciate you checking in, Larry, man. I don't know what to make of the comment. You know, I'm on a bit of a thing right now. I'm no haircut, no shave until ... You know when I'm feeling better about things, when I actually cut the hair and shave it all off. Soon though, very soon though, Kelvin.
You did your brackets?
Yeah, working on the brackets. I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to let people know about our NCAA men's tournament bracket contest. I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'm going to put this link in the chat. So to join our March Madness Bracket Challenge, password to join is BCSN 2026. That's the password to join. It's a free contest, one bracket only, free to join. Oh, come on, you got a foul. Free to join. I want to encourage everybody to join. I'm also doing a survivor contest, Kelvin. That's the one where now, if you're interested in doing a survivor contest, I'll post the link to join the survivor contest. That one, it's a $10 entry fee to join. You simply pick one team per round of the tournament, survive and advance. Survive and advance. So that's great point, Colin. This Lehigh team does not seem to do very well in Dayton against HBCUs, as they are what would be 0-2 now, probably. I don't know. Have they lost to anybody else other than FAMU back in 2003? And then Prairie View looks like they're 20 seconds away from losing today, as Prairie View has an 11-point lead. I could use a few more points, Prairie View, just saying. But anyway. Man, brutal. Hey, while we're talking basketball for a second, let me give a shout out to Tyler Shirley was selected to be in the 2026 HBCU All-Star game. Now that game will be played in Indianapolis, Indiana. Matter of fact, that game will be the weekend of the Final Four. Look, I love my hometown. This is a great weekend being in Indianapolis, because I think in Indianapolis they're going to have the HBCU All-Star game happening. They've got like the Division II National Championship happening. That weekend is going to be such a great, busy weekend of college basketball. And so Shirley, of course, gets the recognition, and he'll join several other seniors. You can see former FAMU Rattler Roderick Coffey III on that team with him. And, of course, I forgot the other team's name, Sam Jones. The other team, it escapes me right at the moment. But congratulations to Tyler, who also was selected to the SWAC All-Tournament team, second team. There's no second team. It was only one All-Tournament team. He was one of 5 players that were selected. So good weekend for Tyler Shirley. And so he'll get an opportunity to showcase his stuff in front of NBA scouts, so on and so forth.
You think Dr. Cavill is in the house in Dayton?
Oh, no. He's in the house. I've already seen the pictures. He's in Dayton. Yeah. The celebration has begun. 7.8 seconds left. Prairie View up 12. And the crowd is chanting, I'm sure, PV, and so that'll be the final seconds. 67 total points. God dog it. Anyway.
Let's go SWAC.
Exactly. So shout out to the SWAC as PV continues their winning ways. Prairie View has won 10 of the last 11 games. Again, this is a team that at one point, Kelvin, from the middle of January to Valentine's Day, they had lost 7 of 8 games. And at that point, after that Valentine's Day heartbreak, they won 10 of 11. What an unbelievable run. And so they will come down here to Florida on Friday and take on the University of Florida and the Florida Gators, the defending national champs. Merry Christmas.
How about Prairie View winning the football championship and men's basketball championship?
Yeah.
In the same season.
Yeah. On Sunday, I had thought that the last time that happened was in Alabama A&M in 2004 and 05, but the great historian that Dr. Cavill, he found a flaw in my research, and that was not the last time that happened. So I look, Kelvin, I don't know. Well, I got to go back deeper. It might have been before the turn of the century, because again, I thought it was 04, 05, but it may have been, later than that. So yeah, I didn't bother to going down the deep dive on that, but I eventually will. So yeah, so I had wanted to try to go out there, man. I had wanted to try to go to Tampa and cover it, but realized I didn't get my credentials in on time. So I guess I'll be watching it from a sports bar, watering hole, or somewhere with my brackets in front of me. But anyway, so but yeah, I want to encourage you guys, go ahead and join our chat. Join our March Madness contest. It's free to enter, and I'll put the link to join the Survivor contest here in the break. So yeah, second straight year that a SWAC school has won. Is it second or actually it might even be longer, because let me see. Alabama State won last year, and Texas Southern. We got to go back and look at that article that Stan wrote and figure out how many consecutive years it's been. But at least two, we know that. At least two.
Yep, and the MEAC won their play-in game.
And the MEAC won their playing game. So
I think Southern women have a legitimate shot tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know the exact date. Is it tomorrow when the Southern women play?
I
know the women's first four are happening now. So I got to look and find out when that's occurring. But if anybody in the chat knows when Southern's women are playing, please post that in the chat if you would. Appreciate you. All right. Well, Kelvin, on Friday, April 3rd, Friday night strike, the spring game, orange and green game, taking place in Bragg, 6 p.m. Friday night. Obviously, if you are local, you will have a good chance at going to that. For the rest of us, I guess we'll have to catch the reports.
And also there'll be a thing exchanged in conjunction with, I guess, the football alumni will have a tailgate for members only and football alumni. So I would definitely be supporting the ladies and coach and then partake in the tailgate.
Yep. There's your tailgate flyer there for the Fang Exchange and football alumni. So it's not too late to become a member of Fang Exchange, so you can be a part of this. You can join Fang Exchange. Check out fangexchange.com. Go be a part of this event, as looks like it'll be a good time. So I wish I could. I don't know. Is that Easter weekend?
It is.
I might be able to come up, Kelvin. Uh-oh.
That would be great.
Well, hallelujah. That just hit me. I just realized that. I was so depressed about wanting to promote it because selfishly I couldn't be there, but then I just realized, wait a minute, that's Easter weekend. I might be able to get on the road and come up to Tally.
Yeah.
Praise Jesus. All right. Well, there you go. Now I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm so selfish. I'm sorry. But now I'm excited. Now I might actually be able to go now. I'm excited. Yeah, because that is Good Friday. Yeah, I got Friday off and Monday.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of spring game coach is going to do. Whether he's going to split teams up. I don't think we have ones and twos yet in his mind and the new staff. And do we have enough numbers at the line of scrimmage to do that, or will it be offense defense? My guess, it'll be kind of offense defense thing because we got limited quarterbacks too.
Yeah. Football news, Larry. I know they're on spring break right now, so this is an off week. So no new news since the news last week.
They lost the home run competition
Well, there's your
against
news.
softball again.
Against the softball team, there's your news.
Yeah, they took the L.
They took an L on that one, huh? Yeah. Well, they were on their turf, so I don't know. I don't know how you balance that out, but you find a way, I guess. All right. Speaking of softball, that's a good transition, Kelvin. The Lady Rattlers took on Mississippi Valley State over the weekend, and I don't know what the last time they ran a series with 3 shutouts was, but that's what they did. As they defeated
every game.
Yeah, run ruled them every game. In game number 1, they beat them 10-0. Game number 2, 8-0. And game number 3, 8-0 as well. They outscored Valley 26-0 in the 3-game sweep. And I went and looked at the biggest. I was trying to find like, hey, who was a top player performer, and what I found, Kelvin, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters all weekend were crushing it for the ladies, and the 3, 4, and 5 all weekend were Delacia, Leslia, Amari Brown, and Keely Spooner.
Yeah.
That's the 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Combined, look at these numbers. In 28 at-bats combined, they had 19 hits, scored 11 runs, drove in 20 RBI, walked 4 times, did not strike out, and only left 1 runner on base during that entire period.
BTA?
Was it? Spooner hit home runs in game 1 and 3.
Yep.
Amari Brown, she had 3 doubles in the first game. Had a double in game 2. And then the Leslia, the right fielder, she in game 1 went 4 for 4, scored 3 times, had an RBI, had 2 doubles in game number 1. I mean, that's an outstanding performance by the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. I mean, outstanding work.
Brian, I truly expect this team to win plus 30 games. We're already over 500, for the season, because we had several really good out-of-conference wins, and we really lost about four more by 1 run. So they're 14-12 at this point. And
14-12, yes. 5-1 in SWAC.
And they are headed to see Coach P.
Oh, yeah. Big bad Bama State, as they like to maybe think of themselves. Of course, I did the numbers here for those of you who are curious. We're playing at Alabama State this weekend. Of course, don't forget in the SWAC with the softball, you only play the East Division. So last year we won both series, 2 out of 3. We faced them twice in the tournament. They beat us the first time to send us into the losers bracket. And then we ended their season on a walk-off shot. I believe Spooner with the walk-off shot, which ended their season to earn a berth into the SWAC championship game. So 5-3 over 8 games last year was our record. So that should be a fun game. I was trying to see if I had the SWAC standings pulled up. I don't think I.
It's on the script.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Softball. Oh, here we go. Standings. Great link. Boom. Alabama State right now having a tough time.
Yeah.
As they are They are 3-3 in conference play, 9-21 overall. They have lost 5 consecutive games. So, but we know that that team will turn it around. We just don't want them to do it this weekend. So we are sitting one game behind Bethune-Cookman, who they are still unbeaten right now in SWAC play. And just glancing to the Western Division, of course, we don't play the West, but Prairie View A&M is leading the Western Division. They are 6-0 in SWAC play, 14-11 overall. So yeah, all on a 6-game winning streak, but that's all SWAC games. So yeah. Any other comments? We haven't seen the awards come out yet, but I'll be interested to see among our 3, 4, 5 hitters who gets the SWAC players of the week. And of course I didn't look across the rest of the conference to see who did what, Kelvin, but I got a feeling we're gonna have a player or two.
I saw the HBCU sports did a softball ranking.
Okay.
And they had us ranked 3rd behind, I want to say, Bethune and Prairie View. What I think what they did was look at conference records, with them both being undefeated in conference.
Uh-huh.
And that's how they kind of ranked it. But that caused me to go down a rabbit hole, and I went and looked at who they played and who we played. And just let me tell you, schedules aren't equal.
Rarely are.
The victories, especially with the West team, and the Mississippi schools, they play a lot of D2, NAIAs on non-conference. And I saw an interesting comment about on Twitter about whether the SWAC should limit Division II games and those kind of games in basketball and football, I like, because of our teams often have to go in and play in because the strength of schedule is what we judge by, and I'm kind of for that. I want us to build our brand up as best as we can, and I think in order to do that, we should limit those Division II games and NAI games, and also I'm a big advocate in basketball. We need a Me at Sweat challenge, so we don't have to play as many money games, and so I'm hoping that the commissioners will work with their partners, their media partners, and make it profitable for them to do so.
Well, I think you have to start creating relationships with other mid-major conferences. And I don't know if that, I think that would be a great help with the scheduling challenges that some of our basketball programs, look, I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. We all understand what it is for most of our programs that are stuck having to be a fundraiser, whether it be for themselves or for somebody else, right? Especially at basketball. And now with revenue sharing, who knows what that looks like, right? But I think you have to find a way to get off of scheduling, because you just have to get away from scheduling the D2 and the NAIAs. I just can't. You get opportunities to schedule exhibition games. Do that for exhibition games.
Right. Correct.
And as much as I would love to say, I would love for us to scrimmage Florida State, that needs to be a regular season game, not an exhibition game. Absolutely. So the exhibition game could be against Albany State or somebody else, and then move forward. And then if anybody wants to, I'm speaking to the tournament that we were a part of. If anybody wants to have a mid-end season tournament, it has to be stated that we are only playing Division I teams. So if you can't find another HBCU, I don't care. Find another Division I mid-major. Maybe that's coached by a black head coach. But it has to be stated, if you want us to be a part of it, if you want FAMU to be a part of it, we have to have a Division I team.
Right.
That has to happen. Right. Non-negotiable.
And bring in all HBCUs with that tournament if you can. I like to see Tennessee State as well as A&T and Hampton a part of this MEAC Sweat Challenge thing too.
Yeah.
Especially since the MEAC has less schools to help balance it out.
Yeah, I think you're missing out on a good week of promotions. I mean, I just, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, Kelvin. We see it happening all over college sports. I'm like, why can't we figure this out? Why?
ACC Big 10 challenge, SEC Big 12 challenge. They've been doing these things for years.
I mean, the MEAC has 8 or 9 schools. I think it's 8, maybe 9. I mean, shoot. I mean, we got 12 in the SWAC. I mean, that should be an easy match. Come on. I mean, come on now. Anyway, all right. Let me get off that soapbox before I raise a horse from the dead. Our baseball team. Let's talk about the baseball series against Southern this past weekend, right here at Moore Kittles Field. We won 2 out of 3. Game number 1. We defeated Southern 12-7. Caleb Granger back to looking like the Caleb Granger from 2 seasons ago when he was a SWAC pitcher of the year. Struck out 10 over the course of, I think he only pitched about 5 innings, and ended up getting the win to move to 3-1 on the year. Just kind of going through some of the stats in game 1 that were impressive. Caden Krezek in 5 at-bats had 3 hits, including a home run with 3 runs. Jackson McKenzie, he was 3 of 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Matthew Perez, 2 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Jay Campbell, he was 2 for 4 as well. Those 4 guys all had a great day against Southern. Game number 2, though, on Saturday did not go our way. We lost 9-5 to Southern. Garrett Workman had a rough day as he got shelled. Only pitched 2 1/3, gave up 8 runs. And, I've been looking at Garrett's numbers of late, and he has not gotten past the 4th inning in any of his starts, at least according to the website at FAMUathletics.com that I was looking at. So I know Coach will be looking for hopefully Garrett can round back into the form that he was in last year, but he's having a bit of a sophomore slump right now. So, but he is our number 2. And in game number 3, FAMU won 10-6. And we can give huge props in that game to Matthew Perez, the sophomore shortstop from out of Orlando, who hit not 1 but 2 2-run homers. Yeah.
And there were no doubters.
Yeah, he was 4 of 5, 2 home runs and a double, drove in 6 runs in the contest. He had a pretty good series. Don't be surprised if Matthew Perez is a candidate for one of those SWAC Player of the Week awards, but pretty good performance for him. Now, the Rattlers did have a midweek game that they played yesterday at home, playing Mercer. I believe it's the 3rd time we played Mercer this season. We had lost the previous 2 at their place, and we lost on Tuesday 9-2. So now we we go into a weekend series against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Kelvin, what do we know about Arkansas Pine Bluff, the Golden Lions?
So they were one of the more improved teams last year. We still beat them. They hired a coach who used to be a scout with the Major League Baseball team, and he had them playing some competitive baseball last year. We're going up there. I think they won their series this past week.
Yep, swept Valley. Yep,
but it was Valley. And I did look at their schedule in the outer conference, and based on what I saw, we should win the series for sure. And even though they're an improved program, it's a SWAC, so you don't know. But even though they're an improved program, I expect us to win the series.
All right, it'll be. I was trying to close the page. I was going to look and see what our history was against Pine Bluff. Let me see if I can.
While you're looking for that, I mentioned previously when the team was struggling that the key was our batting hadn't came around, and we had to get over 5 runs per game.
Mm-hmm.
And so our bats are back.
The bats are back.
Good. Yeah, we're looking good now. So hopefully that will continue. And again, hopefully Gary Workman, who was the SWAC freshman and pitcher of the year last season, he has been in slump, but you got to feel and think that he'll come around in shape and have some better give us some better innings moving forward.
Yeah. Looking at the series history, of course, we don't have a lot of history playing UAPB. Last year we swept them 3 games in Tallahassee. 2 of those 3 games were 1-run games. So yeah, we'll have to pay attention to that going out there to Pine Bluff. So it'll be the first time, at least the first time in the modern era, that FAMU has gone out to Pine Bluff.
Yeah.
And I'm very familiar with that ride. Very lonely ride. So
like going to Valley.
No, not quite, but I understand it though. I won't say it's like that though. It ain't far. It ain't far. It's like know. It's not a far stretch. No, it's not. All right. Any other results from over the weekend that we missed or that we didn't hit on?
In terms of our program teams, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. We'll get into talking about a little bit of what's ahead to come. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Marvin Green. I keep wanting to say, I almost said Marcus, but I've been messing that up all day. But anyway, Marvin Green will be joining us, the Chief Giving Officer for FAMU Athletics and the Marching 100. Will be joining us here on the other side. Hang tight, hit the thumbs up and the like button if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in a moment.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically Black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. you're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MAN.
Looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
What's up, bro? Hey, man, we here, brother. We here. There you go. What's up?
How grateful I am to each and every one of you. First of all, for going to FAMU. I love it, man. Like, y'all know that's my school, man. That's what I went to. Tradition and what y'all bringing, and the fact that y'all open to doing this, and what y'all doing. I just heard some of the rehearsals. I was like, man, it started giving me chills. And I played it for some people around me, and they was like tearing up, like, because what y'all, how great y'all sounded. And just the whole journey, the fact that I got to go to school where y'all are in school at, and doing what you're doing. It's a beautiful thing, y'all. And this theme song meant a lot to us. The fact that y'all taking it to the next level and playing this, it's gonna get classic, y'all. I'm so geek. Y'all gonna bless this. I just want to say God bless to y'all, and I love y'all, and I'm appreciative, and we grateful. So light it up, represent for us, y'all. Let's do it at the highest level, y'all. The best band in the world.
I represent. We got no running for you.
Good job.
All right, folks, and that's just a snippet, just a taste of the Marching 100's performance that was a part of the NBA Amazon Prime. I think I said that right.
NBA on Prime.
NBA on Prime, right. The song is called Victory. Joining us right now, friend of the program, Marvin Green, Jr., the major gift officer for the FAMU Athletics and Marching 100. How you doing tonight, Marvin?
I'm doing great. You guys doing good?
Yeah,
doing awesome, Marv.
Doing well.
I was watching that clip, man. The first time I saw it, and even now, every time I watch it, I'm smiling, man. That's big, man. And the 100 is having an incredible run. And true to their brand. I mean, they do big things all the time. But
band of the year. Yeah. That's what happens when you become band of the year. I mean, all of a sudden,
Yes, sir.
So how did all? Well, first of all, here's where I would like to start.
Okay.
I want you to go back and talk about your relationship with Rashid and how that came about.
Okay. Well, that part is easy because Rashid, just like myself, with two guys from the south side of Chicago that came to FAMU back in the day in 1988 for me, 1989 for him. And, at that time when you're up north, the colleges that you hear about are Morehouse, Howard, Hampton, and, a lot of us were just starting to come down to FAMU. I think the class of 85, 86, those are some of the first classes of people. You start talking about people like Shell Harris, Mark Campbell, folks who were coming from Whitney Young, Chicago, and other places. I came from Hyde Park. Those were the first classes that started to come to FAMU, and it's almost like they brought something back to the city, was like, y'all got to go down and check this spot out called FAMU. Of course, 85, 86, Dr. Humphreys becomes the president. He starts coming to Chicago. Dean Mobley starts coming to Chicago as well. And so I would just say that's how it started, was FAMU knowing that Chicago was a breeding ground for good students. That's the first part. So Rashid and I actually lived pretty close to each other in Chicago, even though we were in similar circles, but not in the same circle growing up. But like anything else, when you come down to the university, I came in 88, he came the year after me. You got your little crew, and you all know how it was. We were being indoctrinated to this Florida culture, so you kind of had to hang with your up north boys if you wanted to survive, so to speak, down here. So the Chicago crew, the Detroit crew, Cleveland, we were like a little clique. So anytime anybody else came on the yard, we were like, hey, y'all need to hang, just make sure you don't get caught out there slipping, so to speak. But not that the university was, at war. I don't mean to say that at all. But I think culturally, right? School days had just come out, and that was a real thing, right? The city guys versus the guys from the South type of deal. But anyway, when Rosh came down in '89, we just kind of took him and a few other guys, Marcus Murray and Corey Crawley. I'll name them two specifically because Corey and I really good friends even now. And Corey actually really helped bring all this together because Corey and Rosh stay connected because they're in the same class. And Corey's daughters are on campus right now. Him and his wife are doing amazing things that you don't know about. Pretty Brown Girl, the brand, that's actually started by a FAMU Rattler, Corey and Sherry Crawley. You need to check them out. They're doing great things out of Detroit. Their two daughters go to School of Business. So that's kind of the story. So when Rosh got on campus, we just kind of looked out for him. He was little brother, so to speak. And he was doing his thing freshman and sophomore year. You just always want to make sure that while we having fun, make sure you take care of your school, that type of deal. And even when he started rapping, I remember saying to him, it's so funny, I think about it, hey, man, you need to stay focused, man. We ain't come down here to be rapping. You got to Ross left junior year. He ended up leaving, and that was like 91, 92-ish. In 94, I want to say it was 94, might have been 92, 93. Remember when we had a SGA event and we brought Ice Cube, Luther Campbell, and Rashid came back with them. He was called Common Sense by then. His album, his first album, Can I Borrow a Dollar? And I remember the SGA people always wanted to go, we drove the van to go pick people up. Somebody wanted to go get Luke. Somebody wanted to go pick up Ice Cube. Those were the popular guys. I'm like, man, I'm going to get my homeboy. And so literally it's like, we even go back to those days because he was the guy who everybody was saying, who is this? And he was on stage at that time. And now, he is who he is now. And it's about relationships, man. I say it's about relationships. So I'm glad you asked that question. It really just stemmed from us coming from Chicago, coming down here to get that education, that great education. Raj had a dream even bigger. He had to jump on it right away. And, of course, end up leaving school early. And so that's that part of the story.
Now, I love how casual you were with that. And if anybody didn't catch it, Rashid, who we're talking about, is AKA Common or Common Sense, as we remember it back when he first came back on the yard,
right.
But later became Common. Just in case anybody didn't catch that, you were just real casual about that. But that's cool. That's cool. That tells about how the relationship was. So he must have already had his musical career thing going in Chicago, and then it kind of just really and then when he was on campus, it was like the opportunity he just couldn't pass up on, I guess.
Well, I think everybody at that age, a lot of us, a lot of people, I won't say me, we thought we could rap, right? Rap was still just kind of coming on. LL Cool J and I'm about to say Big Daddy Kane. Everybody was always in a room hitting on something, just kind of rapping. I think that's really what you saw when he found his niche, so to speak. And that's why I thought, being the one who was Mr. Serious, I've always kind of been that guy out of my friend group, so to speak. I was just saying, hey man, make sure that you keep the main thing type of deal. Not knowing that, like I said, when you got a dream, you got to pursue it. You just kind of go after it. But so I don't know as much about the Chicago part of his musical deal, Bryan. But I will say when he got here, I think a lot of people I know several people right now who I remember being in some of those dorm rooms, literally hearing them rap. Like a lot of people just were always, musically inclined. And that was the music that they were enjoying and kind of taking advantage of at the time.
Yeah. I think it's powerful that even some it's been that long, 30-something years later,
right.
That he still, associates with FAMU, like that love for FAMU, that appreciation for being at FAMU, still is in his heart. And you heard that as he was talking to the Marching 100. Talk a little bit about that moment and just how this whole collab came together.
Well, the collab part, actually, I won't say it's accident, but it's when good people and they legitimate people, then they don't forget, right? So what happened was, obviously I'm in this new role, and the one thing I wanted to make sure I do now, but I always want to make sure my resources should be FAMU resources. A lot of people don't do that. And I hate to say that on the show. I know this is a positive thing, and I'm being positive. Mm-hmm. Some people give you a little bit of their resources. Mm-hmm. Marvin Green, if I know you and you can do something, I'm gonna try to make it happen. That's how Funk Fest came here 10 years ago. I knew Leo Bennett. Leo said he does Funk Fest. I was like, let's try to see how to get it on campus. I think my record speaks for itself. So what happened was in the fall, ironically, when I was trying to take the men and women's basketball coaches, Coach Ward and Coach Gordon in Chicago, I was trying to make that event even bigger than it was. And somebody said, you ought to try to reach out to Rashid. If we can get Common to come, that will be big. You got Coach Ward coming back. You got a Heisman Trophy winner, Olympian. Let's see if we can get the Grammy, Tony, Oscar guy to show up as well. So I reached out to Rashid and said, hey, man, is it possible, I'm trying to throw the bait a little bit. Hey, Coach Ward is going to be in Chicago. Is it possible we can connect you to blah, blah, blah? So what happened was he said, I'll be traveling in London. I'm not free. He said, but what you doing now? You know how the competition goes. Hey, I'm on the yard. I'm raising money for athletics and the band. Obviously, he heard that clicked a little bit. Well, a few weeks later, almost about a month or so later, he's in Detroit. He's on the one of the popular night shows. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but he's on the Jimmy Fallon show with Corey. Corey's daughter's in school. Guess where Corey, all the luggage goes when his daughters need something? Where does it go? To Marvin and Sika's house. So Corey is hearing Rosh. He's playing this song called Victory, kind of, giving him a secret taste of it. Hey, man, the NBA reached out to me, Amazon, whoever reached out to me. I'm doing the theme song for the NBA this year when they get on Prime. He's like, man. So Corey's like, man, that sounds dope, blah, blah, blah. Man, I need to get a band to go with it. And it's like they had an aha moment. Well, you got to get FAMU band. And Marvin doing something with FAMU band right now. Let's make it happen. Now, that's the big part, because when you talk about celebrities and friends, when they called me, I think Rosh called me like on a Monday night. Somebody called me during the day. They said Rosh wanted to talk to me. I said, okay, cool. Celebrities, how it might take a week to get them. They're your friends, but it might take a while to, get on the phone with them. When they said he wanted to talk that day, we talked that night. That same night, we were on the phone talking. He had the idea, me, him, and his agent. Then he said, how soon can we talk to the band director? I was like, hey, I can get Shelby on the phone, blah, blah, blah. Dr. Chipman on the phone. We talked to Shelby the next night. They sent us the what you all heard. And I don't know if y'all heard that song from the real version of that song. From the time I heard it, I was like, oh, man, the band got to be attached to this. Like, if you hear the original version of that song, and I can send it to y'all,
please, yeah.
It's live. It's a great energy, man. And if y'all look at the NBA now, when that song comes on, it's a lot of energy behind that song. So I just kept imagining the band playing it, right? So he's like, we got to try to make it happen. And so I'll speed it up a little bit. So this all happened in September, you all, like really late September, October, because they were trying to get it done maybe by opening night. When the song was going to debut, they were going to try to get it done. Well, the band, of course, is football season. How can we get the band to do this and that? The Lawson Center, is it available before we can get to, the opening night? I think that's October, early November. That didn't work. Then we were trying to get it in time for Christmas. Can we get it on so we can do it Christmas? That's when I got to tell you the story, though. That's when Amazon show you how big they are, right? So Marvin is thinking, we got to get it out by Christmas because the NBA is on TV on Christmas. And a lot of people watch the NBA on Christmas. I'll never forget the young lady told me when I was talking to the Amazon folks, we were trying to get it, but the band had their schedule. They had to go to the Battle of the Bands in Atlanta. They were trying to squeeze it in. Shelby had some other things. They were learning, get ready for the Classic. And Shelby doesn't like to do too much of that mixing and matching. But I'll say this, our band students are phenomenal. How fast they pick up songs, I've been amazed at seeing what they do. Those are some professional students in every sense of the word. But so we trying to get it done before during Christmas break, so we can get Christmas break to get it done by Christmas. But it won't be enough students in time. But here's the key. I said to the lady, I said, man, we really wanted to try to get on TV for Christmas. Everybody watches the NBA on Christmas Day. That'd be cool. She said to me, first of all, the Christmas games aren't on Amazon, but that's only a $5 million viewership crowd. Amazon streams to 300 million people across the world. So we're not going to have no problem with viewership whenever we get it done.
Well, excuse
I
me.
was like, that was the flex of all.
Yeah.
She was like, you know what? We ain't going to have no problem with people seeing this once it gets done. So we eventually got the January dates. I kept sending Common different things because the band played it at practice one day just to let him know he could do it. They do the musical arrangement where you see the animated version of what you all saw NBA on Prime. They sent that to him. Common was like, it's like he was just getting more and more excited. The more he saw, he was like, man, this can really be big. He was like, it's like he was seeing it. And that's why I like what you all heard was his reaction, his genuine reaction of like, man, this was my song that the NBA allowed me to do. I had an idea of who could perform it well, and they are killing it. So what you hear him saying to the band the day we were doing the recording, they asked me, the Amazon people said, do you think you can get them on FaceTime? I was like, let me see, let me check. So I shot him a text. He's like, yeah, I'm in London again. He's in London. So he's on a 5-hour difference from us, 5-hour time difference. So it was 4:45 our time, 9:45 his time. We gave him a call and we, let him know they were about to play the song again. So what you all are seeing there, that was technically not rehearsed. He was calling in just to hear the song, and when he heard it, he was literally like, "Oh my God! Like y'all did it! Like y'all killing it! Y'all did it!" And so his words are what he was saying to the band on the speaker. They have my phone with the mic, and so you're hearing that raw emotion, man, and that was big to me. I was just like, see somebody what they thought could happen. It was like, yep, this is it. This is really it. And he loved it. We played it 2 times for him, and he loved it. And so he started talking. We got him on FaceTime. But here's the key, just to let you know how big he is. He literally we hung up the phone. He was on the phone about 15 minutes on the FaceTime. He calls me back, guys. He called me. So I'm just thinking he's going to say, Marvin, that was it. You killed it, blah, blah, blah. Thanks, whatever. He said, can you FaceTime me back? Can you FaceTime me again? I'm like, okay. I'm thinking like, well, you're in London. You just heard the song twice, man. Like, what you want? When he called me back the second time, I guess I can say this, kind of public knowledge. I'm looking on the phone FaceTime. I'm looking at Jennifer Hudson.
I saw that.
On that dinner talking to her, and he wanted her to see, because he stepped outside to take the first call. Obviously, he was trying to get somewhere quiet, but I guess he loved it so much. He's like, you got to see what I just saw. And that's when I was like, man, it's done deal, close shop. He's impressed so much. He's sharing it with his girl. You know how it is. When that happens, you didn't kill this. So I was just excited, man, that it all could come together. And then, of course, they were, obviously going to be doing it for the weekend. So, when it came out that weekend during the Orlando Magic game, they're going to play it more. But I just think the collaboration, it says that, FAMU is a special place. Like I always say, you can go anywhere from FAMU. They interview several people, drum majors, Dupe. I mean, man, she is a class act. Man, I'm telling you, man, Shelby could not have chosen, the band could not have chosen, however that process goes, a leader. I'm telling you, I'm more impressed the more I'm around her. I wish she could stay another year. I don't know how that works, but she kills it, man. She is first class all the way. And this, like I said, this just came together because of the FAMU love, the FAMU connections. We all got them, right? We know people. So it's not Marvin anything special, but I appreciate Corey thinking about it like, you got to call Marvin. I appreciate Rosh, like, you know what? I was supposed to do this for Marvin in Chicago. It didn't work out. This would be great. Almost like, yeah. And it just went from there, man. So, when you're true to people, when you're cool with people and y'all have genuine relationships, things like this happen. And, you can make magic every once in a while. So, we made a little magic. And like you said, it's been a great semester for the band. The band has done some crazy, awesome things this year. And we got a couple more. Matter of fact, coming. One of them we recorded a couple weeks ago. You all saw when Will was in town recently. Will Packer was in town with Ludacris. So that ain't even came out yet. But, y'all saw it on Instagram. So hint, clue, there's something there.
Okay.
So, yeah, the band is killing it, man. A Michael Jackson deal, Lionsgate. That was done by Officer Communications and their team, Dr. Alonda Thomas and Rachel Terry. They killing it, man. So, the band is a brand.
Yes.
They're special. And I mean, like, literally, how we think about our athletes, that's how we ought to think about our band. Those students get it in. And it's for a long time. I mean, like I said, I've been on the yard a while, man. I always hear the band members playing. Like, man, they always just got a tune going. But when you're around them, you see why. They are serious about their craft, right? Yeah. And like I said, when you hear the original version of the song, and of course you know what you heard, you be like, oh my God, they really, really killed it. And you see why there was so much excitement and what eventually came out. So I don't know if that was a little long-winded, but y'all know how.
No, man, that
was good stuff.
That's why we brought you on, man. We want to get into the weeds a little bit.
Yes, sir.
The financial
and there was a financial significant donation from That done. Yeah, that wasn't done for free, just so you know. So we got a little love on that too. And of course, I'm working an angle to try to even get more out of that, because now that we NBA on Prime, that's one of the biggest brands out there. So, we still gonna work some angles to try to even get more out of that. And that's what the goal is, right? A major gift officer got to go after major gifts, but it's all about relationships and people being in the right places and want to partner with brands that make sense for them to partner with. And I truly believe that our band is one of the best brands to partner with, along with our athletic program and our teams, et cetera, et cetera. So we have so much to offer, man. And things are working, good right now. And we just have to keep making the main thing, keep being positive, and let's go be great.
Well said. Well said. Do you feel? I'm curious. Do you feel like whatever, whether it was perceived reality or not, whatever financial gaps there may have been in terms of helping the 100 do certain things, do you feel like whatever goals you had going into the year or since you took over this role, are you feel like you're on pace, like ahead of your planned target? What does that look like for you? And when you think about how can I contribute and add value for this Marching 100, this band, this world famous band, to be able to do more and be in more places, so that some of the in the past there have been financial restrictions that have limited the band's ability to do certain things. Do you feel like you're on pace, ahead of pace, or where you want to be to close that gap?
Well, I think I'm on pace. Really, I think I'm ahead of pace, because people's expectations are, the band just needs to get to football games, right? And what I'm saying is the band as a brand is bigger than that. There's so many more things they can do. Remember, the band actually did the Art Basel event with Young Jeezy. That's another one we had. We had the Young Jeezy event in Miami. So my point is not the band are literally their own cultural iconic ecosystem, so to speak. And people want to partner for the right reasons. Dupe the other night on the Oscars. I mean, what she's doing, the Oscars, Oscars, doing her deal. So my point is there's so many ways to be connected. But I think a lot of times when you think about giving to the band, you only think about, well, can we get them to Southern? Can we get them to Jackson State game? It's like it's so much bigger that they bring to the table. And really, Dr. Chipman had to kind of school me. He's like, Marvin, when I go in the living rooms, I'm trying to recruit. I'm recruiting musicians to come to FAMU over these other schools. I got to have something to get them here. And I was, for the first time ever, I'm thinking students came to FAM and then they happen to play music in the band, as opposed to nowadays students are saying, where do I want to go to school? Who's going to give me a good offer? So and to me, the band is probably one of our bigger NIL opportunities. If you really think about it, right? Because they literally have the name, image, and likeness that people want to associate with. So that's really what I'm trying to do, is get to the point where that becomes the model for what NIL looks like, a true NIL looks like. We have a brand that other people want to partner with, and they're saying, you know what? We're going to put money on the table to do that. So I'll say I'm ahead of the game in terms of thinking about it, but I'll say how we do it, you'll see in the next probably 30, 40 days, something similar, Restore the Strike, but on a grand scale. It'll include the band, it'll include athletics as well, to take this thing to another level, so that people are always trying to say, how do I give to these programs on a consistent basis? We need to quit being episodic. Episodic is, oh, we got a problem, let's pay for it. We got a problem. No, I want to have people who say they committed, and you say you down as a rattler, we're going to say, put your money where your mouth is. And that's not a bad challenge. And I'm saying it is what it is. If I'm bragging about being a member of the Marching 100 back in 19, whatever, then you know what? I ought to see your name on the roll. And it don't have to be big. I'm not trying to get in your pockets. Kids are going to college. You got things you're doing. Life happens to everybody. The economy is crazy. But you got to show that you got some skin in the game in this day and age when you say that you want to support this particular group. And to me, that's what it's all about. But it's about just sharing that message, right? Just sharing in a different way, because, for a long time, not athletics, but I think football and the band had a little grudge war. Who do you come to in the seas, so on, so on, so. So when you play in that game, we can't feed into that. And that's why I love, man, when we were practicing for Michael Jackson, Coach Gray was at the field. He was loving it. He came over and talked to the band, talking about when he was in Fort Lauderdale and did the high school, how much the band meant to him. Oh my God, I think he said he played an instrument or somebody, or whenever he heard this instrument played, I want to say it's the tuba. I forget what the right name for the tuba. They call it something else. But say it again.
Sousaphone.
Yeah. So Coach Gray was talking about how that impressed him. So literally doing the Michael Jackson shoot or the Lionsgate shoot, Quinn is out there. Coach Gray is out there. So I think to know that you got him, you got Shelby, you got people who have respect for each other. Yeah. They know that we are also, while we're trying to win games, and that's important, we also an entertainment package. And when people understand that, that's what the business of athletics looks like. That's what the business model that you're running looks like. Say, no, we got something special, y'all. We ain't gonna mess this up, get into no ego stuff. This is how we got to do it. So, long answer, something else is coming, and this is gonna be the thing that sustains both of those particular programs, the band and athletics. And I think that'll be special as well.
Man, I love it, man. I love what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Thank you, brother.
I think the most important part is having the vision, then asking. I don't think we did a great job of asking our alumni to support in those kind of different venues and ways. And so I'm glad to see you in the role where you're dedicated to doing that, man. And I'm just really proud of what you're doing.
Appreciate you guys for having me. Y'all have a good one, man.
Appreciate you, Marvin. Thank you, brother.
Peace
All right. Wow, Kelvin. Great stuff there. Great stuff. You know, I kind of laugh for a second because at the end of the day, it always comes down to this, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, y'all, it all comes down to
we in the swag.
Yeah, like all that stuff is great, but we gotta be at some away games, you know. Boy, I tell you, y'all don't change.
Just keep exposing our brand. It's such an iconic brand. Yeah.
It is.
People deserve to see it more as much as possible. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I love the fact, and it does bring up a lot of interesting points. I mean that whole, just again, the band being in more places that sometimes we wonder, how did they get there? Like when the Jeezy thing popped off, it was like, how did they get there? When did that pop up on the scene? And so I'm glad we were able to have Marvin on and be able to find out how all of that happened. So
right.
Okay, let's take another break, because right on the other side, we're going to talk to the young lady who's taking the internet and the world by storm, none other than Oluwamodupe. Probably messed that. Doggone it.
I can't wait to see come on.
Dupe Oloyede. I've been working on it. I'm gonna get it right when she comes on. I promise. I'm nervous as heck. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I don't even know. I do this as a profession, but I'm nervous, very nervous. But anyway, I'll see if I can get it right. I'm gonna do my practicing here in the break. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Hang tight, and we'll be back right on the other side of these words.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
And we have to fund our kids in these colleges, and we have to make sure our kids have seats in these colleges.
And what about HBCUs? You mentioned.
Absolutely. You got to fund them all, and you've got to make sure they're properly funded. You know, the real reason why I went after Comcast and Charter, it didn't have anything to do with my cable networks. It didn't. What happened was a gentleman wanted to do the Black College Sports Network in partnership with the HBCUs. And Comcast did not accept it. And that would have made a lot of money for these black colleges.
Absolutely.
And it would have educated the Black College Sports Network. This is what he wanted to do. That would have educated a lot of black kids. And when they didn't do that, that's when I came off the bench and said, okay, I'm going to light you up like a Christmas tree. Okay? That was the real reason why I got into it, was when I saw what happened with the Black College Sports Network, which I don't own. I just knew.
Why didn't you buy it?
I just knew. I just knew that these black.
I like that talk.
Right? I knew that these black colleges were going to benefit, and these black kids were going to get the education that they deserved and not have to pay.
There's a shot. It might be. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Change the game when that digital drop. Stay on your feet, you know I'm gonna pop. I stop the world. Male or female, it make no difference. I stop the world. World. When I march on the field, all eyes on me. Got the whole world roaring about my place in history. From the runway to the stage, entertainment guaranteed. The truth has to be real. I'm repping BADST. Greetings, I am Oluwamodupe Oloyede, a senior theater performance scholar from Atlanta, Georgia.
And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have on the O&G StrikeZone, Oluwamodupe, Oloyede, Dupe, Oloyede. How
Yes.
close was I? Was I close? Was I?
Well, closer than the last time. So I'll introduce myself so that we can all have the pronunciation. But greetings and most humble salutations. Good evening, everybody. My name is Oluwamodupe Oloyede. I am a senior theater performance scholar from Atlanta, Georgia, and I currently serve as the head of show planning, the head drum major of the Marching 100, and I just joined Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Well, Dupe, if I may call you that, is welcome to the O&G StrikeZone. It's a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I told you I tried. I've been practicing, but I'm sure that I even had Vaughn. I remember Vaughn kind of gave me some phonetics earlier during the football season. So, it's all good. I appreciate you sparing me there.
My name. We'll be hearing and saying it everywhere. So
I know. So what is the look? You have been on a world tour this year, this academic year. Let me just start from June or I guess it would have been June of last year.
Yeah.
And thinking back over these several months, when the announcement that you would be the head drum major was presented to you, maybe you can kind of walk us through that process.
Yes.
Did you foresee or how did you prepare yourself for what this year would be like for you?
Well, I will start so the Marching 100 usually announces its leadership on June 1, the founding date. In recent years, we've been doing that. I know we've changed it. And I was in DC celebrating my sister's graduation, and I was just at the table thinking about it because the last year, my first year as a drum major, I doubted myself a lot. I was like, I was my biggest critic. I got a lot of good notes, of course, got great publicity, but I knew as a performer, there were things that I wanted to do better. And I did a lot of looking in myself that I didn't recognize how much people were looking at me, applauding me, or that I was inspiring them. Like they would come up to me and say that. So my headspace was in that place in May. Then as soon as Dr. Chipman announcement, it's like a switch flipped in my brain because it was no longer just about me. He announced 7 drum majors. I was the first name. I was the first head. I was the head drum major. So it wasn't just about me. It was about how the squad is going to look. And he announced me as head of show planning. So that meant that what I had to do was not just about the drum majors and the FAMU drum major legacy, which is very, very prestigious, but also the whole look of the Marching 100 was also my responsibility. And something that I really appreciate about myself is my determination. So even if I did doubt myself 1 second before he announced us, the second after, it was go time. I knew there was no opportunity to fail, and positive pressure and encouragement that I had learned from the last year, that was really the preparation for the next season. I saw how the head drum majors who before me held themselves, carried their bands, and every year is different. Therefore, every head drum major is different, and every band that they have to lead has to go through its own set of things. And I think that God has done a great job of ordering everything in perfect timing. Dr. Chipman is the perfect director of bands for the year. Our band staff is the perfect setup for this year. The students that we had together, they were able to trust our leadership. And I think that everything before this moment was preparing me, like being a Southwest DeKalb drum major, being a drum major the year before, working on show planning committee. I saw what worked well, what didn't, and I put that together, planned the entire season with our committee. So at the show planning realm, we did a great job of just planning the season so there weren't too many surprises or hiccups. We knew what we were going to do from our very first performance to if we got picked for band of the year. We planned that out in the summer. And in terms of the drum majors, I run a tight ship. So I knew how we were going to train. I knew our shortcomings and I knew our strengths. So that's what I was really focused on. As a drum major, I prefer focusing on the work. The publicity will come and it's going to be good if you're doing the work well. So That's what I was focused on. I did not expect this much publicity, but I'm grateful for it. Yeah.
Right, right, and you've handled it well, but by all accounts, from what I've seen and what we've heard, as you may have heard also in our previous interview with Mr. Green, definitely. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So I want you to talk about, you've had an opportunity to participate in a lot of things, events, major things, and the band does big things all the time.
Yeah.
But how did this whole thing with the Oscars, I want to know how the sausage was made. How did that come about?
That is by God's grace. Honestly, talk about like gifts making room for you and things happening in perfect time. Because like I was saying, you do the work and things come. I mean, you played the probate video, so they saw my probate video. And the story goes that Ludwig Garson is the man who's over the musical genius of the movie Sinners. His manager, his agent asked for my contact, and someone who's an active, more so who was an Alpha Chapter Delta at Howard University. She saw that in her email inbox, didn't know me from a can of paint because I just joined the sorority. She was able to backtrack, find a mutual that I met at Howard University when I attended, found my number, hit me up, sent my information to their team, and then they hit me up because that day had been going so fast because I just joined. So a lot of people were sending their congratulations. And I was also in school that day because, I'm a student. So I was trying to search back and respond through the day. But Dr. Chipman just got back in town. So he said, let me announce you to the class. And as it happened, I also was running that rehearsal, reading music off my phone. And then I saw a message that said, Sinners, creative director. I was like, whoa, wait a second. Oscars, whoa. And I looked at Dr. Chipman and I said, wow, we have a lot to be grateful for right now. And I was like, wait, you might have to keep this under wraps for a second. So I told him, I just got this Trailblazer award last weekend. Yeah, we got to post that soon. As soon as that rehearsal ended, I ran outside. I called the number back. We talked about it and we set it up. And I was on the Oscars. Yeah.
So, talk about when you got there and you had to go through the practice. Do they send you kind of? I know you have to. I know this is a big production. Center won a lot of things, and that I know they want to keep things on the wraps. But how does the production work? Did they send you what they wanted you to do, or did you find that out once you got there? How long did you practice? And I'm interested to know how the rest of the performers, how they responded to you, how did they treat you?
We still here? Test.
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Yeah, we got you. So,
okay.
So yeah, how did that go?
So, funnily enough, I missed the flight. So they had scheduled a flight for me. The contingency was I can only make it if I'm able to fly out Thursday night because we're in Tallahassee, y'all.
Yep.
And Tallahassee flights suck. So the only way I was going to get to LA from Tallahassee was if I had taken this 7 p.m. flight. And y'all, with the busyness of like everything's turning around so fast, I missed the flight. And I was so devastated. When I got back to my apartment, I had literally called everybody I could. I got back to my apartment. I said, there's no way I'm staying here this weekend. And the Oscars is on Sunday. And I've already canceled plans because I knew I had to leave. There's no way. So as like nerve-wracking as it was, I called everybody I could. I called one woman. She's a Delta. She lost her voice because she was sick. And she still helped me. And she said, there's a flight leaving out of Orlando at 6:35 in the morning. You'd get to LA at 8:55. The logistics manager for the Oscars team for Sinners was saying, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. You need to be there at 9:15. And if your flight lands at 8:55, you're not going to make it. I said, I don't know if you believe, but I believe. So I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. But people were saying, like, you're not going to make it, so don't waste your time. I talked to my family. I said, there's no way I'm staying here. And they were encouraging me. They were like, okay, you have to make a game plan now. So I made a game plan. Got a friend, the March 100. Oh, yes. Got a friend. Her name is Annabelle Booker. She came up fall 23 on trumpet in the March 100. And she came into Beta Phi, the Beta Phi chapter of Tau Beta Sigma last spring, 2025. She drove me to Orlando. And she stayed with my upperclassmen so that she could drive back to Tallahassee. I got on that flight. I scheduled that lift. That MCO is a busy airport, child. I thought I was going to make it to the gate. I made it to the gate with like 10 minutes to spare before boarding. I got that notification from Lyft saying that the flight was going to land early from 8 instead of 8:55. I was going to land at 8:31. Okay, I'm like, okay, I'm still trusting and believing. I sit on the plane. I get another notification saying your ride will be waiting for you at 8:01 because the flight was going to land at 8:02.
Wow.
Soon as I got off that plane stopped taxiing. I said, excuse me. We're going to the front of the plane. I'm on the phone with my mom and my sisters. We're running to the car. I've never been to LAX airport this way. So I'm running to the car. I tell the Lyft driver, I said, I need to get there safe. I need to get there fast. He said, I got you. Got there at 9:10, ran, and I got to that table at 9:15. So when they saw me, they were like, you made it. So by that time, the cast had like heard that I was going to get added to the team the day before in their meetings, but they were told that because I missed the flight, I was going to make it. So I saw Miles Catton, who plays the main character in Sinners, and he said, you made it? I shook his hand. I said, I made it. And everybody was so talented. I was like, yeah, you know me? Oh my God. So everybody was so talented. They handled everything so well. I was honored to even be in a room with them and soaking in the fact that I'm with stars on a stage that's going to award stars in a theater that I just made it to. It was a lot to handle, but the Marching 100 prepares us for that. So talk about a whirlwind of an adventure.
Wow. That's an exclusive story right there. I don't know if I've heard that story shared in too many places, folks. I'm gonna have to we got to make sure to clip that because wow, that is an amazing man. That's only God, boy. That's what you talk about having faith and belief right there. That is awesome. That is awesome.
So talk about the experience, the actual performance and the energy. What was that like for you?
At first it was like nerve-wracking because not nerve-wracking, but I was a little nervous because I'm like, wow, this is the Oscars happening right now. Like this is the Oscars happening live. And I got into the performance space and I saw the back of the heads of the people in the chairs that I'm like, wow, these are stars for real. And then just like how I march on the field, I said, it's go time.
Yeah.
Started that performance. We had a good time too. I heard somebody cheer me on from the seat. Like I'm in theater, especially I'm in Black theater. So we like to talk back. So once I heard that talk back, I said, okay, cool. We're going to turn this performance up. Had a nice little show. It finished. And I was like, wow, just like that, it was done. Misty Copeland's on the stage right next to me. Like, it's amazing. The experience was, it didn't dawn on me that it happened. It probably still hasn't really dawned on me that it has happened. But when we left, Ms. Rachel Terry, who accompanied me from the university, she asked me like, are you okay? And I was like, I can't believe it's over. Like I got a little sad that it was over, but I have a philosophy, like I'll be back. I'll be back on that stage sometime, winning an award in Jesus' name. Yeah.
There you go. Speak it.
Amen.
As a theater major, that had to be, I mean, I can't even imagine what that moment felt like for you. Because as you said, I mean, that is the place where, you know, it's the top award among, you know, that industry. And to be there and to see that, is there any, and I know it's hard to say, it's hard to think about contacts and networking because you're there to perform, you're trying, but as you're moving through all the spaces, was there anything that you heard or maybe was told or that you connected with or someone that you connected with that maybe you can think back and say, wow, that is definitely a great piece of advice, or that is something I'm holding on to as I'm taking forward with me as I eventually move into the professional phase of my career in life?
I'll say in terms of personal contacts, I'll just reference the story. Like the people who reached out to me, I owed them my performance because they reached out to me as well. But the fact that I got there and the way that I got there, I believe that even just taught me, don't take no for an answer. Really. It may be a shot in the dark, but take the chance. I told myself, even if I didn't make it through that door, which I couldn't see that other side of that reality, honestly. But even if I didn't make it through that door, I guess I was just going to have an early spring break trip in LA because I was going to stay that whole weekend. I was going to stay. And thank God that I didn't have to face that reality. So the people I met and performed with, I also heard about how long they've been in the industry, how many people they performed with, how many stages they've been on. And I said, okay, so this is what being a professional performer looks like. This is what I want to do. These are the spaces I want to be in. So the contacts are probably just the people who reach out to me. And my goal is that they see the hard work and the talent and the right people attached to that, really.
All right. And piggybacking off that, Bryan, when do you graduate and what's your plan after you graduate?
I graduate this spring. I walk spring 26. So on May 2nd at 9 a.m., I'll be an official graduate of Florida A&M University. And I'm a proud Rattler. So I'll be returning to my university with like funds, support, publicity, all of that. And after that, I am leaving that open to whatever God has planned. So this is a great run. So I'm pretty sure that with just as much as I wasn't expecting Sinners to come and I wasn't expecting the huge accolades from all the things that have come this season have come, I'm staying pretty hopeful and faithful to that.
I also know you work with the Irene Edmonds Youth Theater, which my daughter went to. And that age range is from like what, 6 to 18?
Yeah.
High school. How was that, and what did you get out of that, and what did you hope to give with working with young people in theater?
I was able to learn from the March 100, also like band camp. I was able to transfer my skills there to this. I loved working as the choreographer. I was over digital marketing and choreography. So I was like a counselor adjacent, hopped in where they needed me to be because I was still doing drum major training during that time. But what I took from that is how to teach kids theater, and also don't underestimate children. Don't underestimate children. These kids were so talented. I loved how honest they were. If they didn't want to do something, they didn't want to, but some of them would still try. If they felt shy in practice, then all of a sudden on stage, there's somebody different. I said, yeah, you're a performer for sure. What I appreciated about that experience was I was able to sharpen my skills in a different way. I think that coming in through band, we have such a militant style and such a way of like, you're expected to listen to me because I'm in this position, and we've all just been trained in that way. In the theater space, you get a glimpse of how people operate in the real world because I'm not your drum major here. Yes, you respect me, but I'm not your head drum major particularly. You have to respect me because you respect me, not my position and my title. And the theater space showed me how to harness those skills so that it changed my entire leadership style for the 100 too. We don't demean people here. I don't demean people in the theater space. I'm not going to demean you on the field. We have a standard of excellence to uphold, both in the theater, both on the field. We have a great legacy. We have a performance to get to. So I took all the care and nurturing and camaraderie from the theater space to the high intensity band field. So I would say Ice Camp really showed me that how to change my teaching style to different learning capabilities, and also how to get something done. I was over the booklet, so how to get something done in print in a timely manner.
Yeah. That's hard. That's challenging. I know that for a fact. Looking back on this band season, take us novices, those of us who aren't band heads, who didn't grow up in the band, or but we've had an appreciation behind the scenes. Give us something that maybe we overlooked this year as it relates to the marching 100 in this past season. Maybe whether it be a performance or a little show of appreciation by somebody, or just something that we didn't see, not out of, hey, we weren't looking for it, but it was just, we just maybe took it for granted. And I say we, I'm talking to us casual, enthusiastic rattlers, those who love the 100, support the 100, just something that we missed.
I would say what's mostly missed is the practice time and the meetings and the times where we have to be honest and say, Doc, our students are tired. Or I remember particularly after even before band of the year, I would hear murmurs like that the band is tired. They don't want to go. And I remember in 2024 when we were hearing our peers say that too. And Doc James, he's the percussion director, he said, if we're going to go, and it's not a question if we're going to go, but if we're going to go, we're going to do what the 100 does. I took that mindset 2025. I never go into anything thinking I'm going to lose, ever. And although we didn't walk home with the trophy that day, I was never more confident in the abilities of the March 100 ever. And that taught me something about rejection, because in my personal opinion, we didn't
no doubt about it.
Oh, you don't have to say it. What? No.
Yeah.
We had the best show. You guys had the best show that day. Look,
and I'll let the fans say it,
Yeah.
So, and that's not a diss to whomever won. I just know the band that I worked with and that I currently work with. So I would say what is overlooked is how much time, energy, encouragement goes into bringing our peers to a performance attitude. And after band of the year, we had winter break and we came back and still did a performance. We're coming back, acclimating to the spring semester, trying to get in classes as much as they could to get to South Florida to do the National Battle of the Bands show in honor of Dr. Beckwith. So I think that's the biggest thing that people recognize. These are students. Yes, we're performers, but we're students also. And a lot of work goes into making a performance.
Here's the question I'm going to ask you. I know this is a hard question because you've been a part of so many major things at FAMU. And just this year, the Oscar performance, the Viral Delta video, the HBCU Band of the Year performance, the NBA Victory collaboration, the Michael Jackson tribute, first female head drum major. I mean, just a whole list of things. What is your favorite moment out of all that?
That's hard. That is hard because for the 100, I would say it's probably contrary to popular belief, but for the 100, it would be band of the year. Actually, still for me too, because I had a hard choice to make. I was going to graduate in the fall, and nothing felt right about that. Like, nothing felt right about just hard stopping, walking away from the 100. And throughout the semester, people were asking what I was going to do. I told Dr. Chipman I would be there until the bus drives away and I'd have to go to commencement. I literally called everybody I could. I asked for a second commencement. They said, okay, you can graduate by yourself. I said, nah, I want that Rattler experience. So for me, it was what I could display to the band about sacrifice and hard work for band of the year and how we worked so well together. When I look back on that show, that's why I said we didn't lose. By the 100 standards, we did not lose. I saw my peers chant, scrub the ground, march 90s. Those circles were so perfect. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of us because even when we're tired and we feel like, dang, how are we going to make it through? We make it through each and every time. And that's what started the catalyst for the spring semester, for me at least. My own personal win, the Oscars. But I know that that's just the start of something, another trajectory just going up.
what's your favorite part of theater? You know, there's different parts. There's the production part. There's the acting part. Some folks dance. Some folks sing. What is it that you like the most and want to do professionally?
What I want to do professionally, I want to perform. I think it's so liberating when people are able to use their bodies as a vessel to like tell a story. And the thing that I learned about theater is living in the moment. I didn't grow up in the theater space. I grew up more in film. I'm Nigerian, so Nollywood was something very big in our culture. And in film, you get to take a take again. But the other side of that is you don't know what take they're going to use. In theater, it's the take is that live performance. And doing the whiz, which I absolutely overly loved, I was able to just dance and see how majestically all of our Black bodies were moving together. That's worship in and of itself. And then singing and acting, musical theater is what I love. And as I move into my professional space, I want to perform first, landing films, telling stories, because I understand my position in history. I want to support that. And graduating to my way to being on Broadway, and then eventually into art administration myself, directing, producing, having a company doing that, and advocacy always, and starting a school eventually, because I think we need arts and education. I don't know why people think it's not important, but a well-rounded student makes a well-rounded citizen. So
true.
It makes our world a better place. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. It has really been a pleasure speaking with you and actually putting a voice and hearing, because from a distance you almost see, I'm going to say this as the head drum major, you seem untouchable or unspeakable. It's like this. You are the drum majors of the Marching 100 seem like this untouchable, unspeakable entity that you just kind of observe and admire. And we don't get to hear you all very often. And so I say it's a pleasure, and I'm so grateful and thankful to have you come on the show and to see all of the various interviews and things that you've done, to be able to sort of put a voice and a face to the wonderful job. There's still that mystique that you all carry, but knowing that, when you put the baton down for a second, I know you guys don't put the baton down, but figuratively.
Yeah.
And there's this other person. There's somebody there underneath the uniform, and so it's fascinating. And I mean, I hope that all of the folks who are watching and have watched really appreciate you, appreciate the 100, your fellow drum majors, for everything that you all have done and are doing, because it sounds like there's more to come. Like, I mean, I know it's March, but Mr. Green kind of led us into thinking that there's still some stuff down the road over these next couple of months. So I don't want to say like it's over, but I just, I'm going to get out the way and let you have the last words and shout out whoever you want to give shout outs and praise and thanks to. And I'm just going to say, on behalf of Kelvin and our family here, we thank you for coming on the show. And just thank you for everything that you've done to represent the way you have done it.
Thank you. Honestly, it's been an honor. So thank you. Yes.
Any shout outs? Come on, give some shout outs. I'll let you. Hold on, Kelvin, you got another question?
No, not a question.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily a question. I know it's spring break. Do you get a chance to enjoy spring break these next couple of days?
I will be enjoying it at the Southeastern District Conference for Tau Beta Sigma. We have a conference that starts tomorrow. We are still rallying support for the Beta Phi chapter because we have to travel independently. So if you would like to support us, just let us know. We are available at Beta Phi TBS on Instagram. If you would like to support monetarily because we are traveling up there independently, that would be absolutely great. And not only am I participating in the Women in Music panel, but one of my line sisters, Jada Bostic, she is the president of the Southeastern District. So we're going up there representing the Rattlers very well, very well. I would also like to say, as some shout outs, was a shout out my mom. Thanks, Mom. Shout out Florida A&M University, my illustrious university. Very, very grateful to be a Rattler. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you, Dr. Chipman, for allowing me this opportunity to lead. Thank you for letting me be myself in doing that. Thank you to my squad. Thank you all for holding the fort down on this world tour and being leaders of our own character. Thank you all to the Oscars committee and to Sinners for allowing me to participate. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Delta Sigma Theta. Thank you, Regional Director, for allowing me to be on this Beta Alpha line this semester. I very much appreciate it. Thank you all at the Strike Zone for having me here tonight. I am also honored. And anyone I missed, may God bless you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dupe Oloyede, thank you for joining us. God bless. We look forward to seeing all the great things you do here in the future as you represent Florida A&M and your family and all of those who supported you. And we know we'll see some great things for you down the future. So congratulations, young lady. Well done. Good job.
Thank you so much. Let's go, Rattlers.
All right. Be well. All right.
Have a good one.
Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff.
Is, my favorite segments to hear is directly from our young, talented students.
Our students, yeah. Our students.
They are amazing. And she is amazing.
What a great year it has been for the Marching 100. And just her journey. I mean, it's a documentary that somebody's gonna do. Mm-hmm. if they haven't already started working on it, it's there. What an outstanding year it's been for her, and wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of favor. She living right. She doing right because God's got a lot of favor for her.
That's an amazing story. That trip to be, I mean, talk about having a lot. And though when you're a believer, and I've told young people that I teach, that when you believe and you have faith, anything is possible. And so even when the obstacles seem challenging, you have to have that faith. And I'm glad to see that she exhibited that, having that faith and belief in that I'm going to trust. And when you need something, God delivers. I mean, the friend to be able to drive you, the plane to be able to arrive early, the scheduling, everything to be able to work out. So she got to that table on time. And in the midst of people believing that it wouldn't happen, she proved. I mean, that's an amazing story right there. That is, wow. Man, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Faith of mustard seed. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, again, hopefully you guys in the chat enjoyed that interview. Please feel free to go back and share it. I will make clips of it, not only the conversation with Marvin Green, but also the conversation with Dupe as well. So hopefully you guys will get a chance to go back and enjoy that and share it with your friends, and more importantly, share it with the FAMU. Okay, let's go through the rundown of what's to come as we get ready to close out the show. We'll start with the bowling tournament, the SWAC bowling tournament that'll be taking place here in the upcoming days. And there is the format. And you can see FAMU is the number 6 seed. And the first match is on Friday morning. against Alabama State. And it is a double elimination, so that's the one good thing there. So even if, we were to stumble, you'd have a second opportunity. But that's 9 a.m. All of the matches appear to be streaming on SWAC TV, which is a good thing. That's great. So you can see everything on SWAC TV. I think is that the SWAC TV logo there in the brackets, Kelvin? It looks like it is. So
yeah, it is.
Okay. And so the winner between FAMU and Alabama State will take on the 2 seed Texas Southern. So be an interesting tournament there for the Rattlers. And so now, I don't know. It does say the 20th in the bracket, right? Okay, must be something is. I'm reading something here on the website that's saying Thursday, March 19th. So that's why I'm kind of I'm going off the bracket. That bracket courtesy of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. So, make sure you're following at FAMU Athletics for the latest information. But we'll make sure to retweet and give you all a heads up on match day for our teams. Also in the upcoming week, as we had previously mentioned on Friday, game 1 of our 3-game series at Arkansas Pine Bluff in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, for the baseball team. Their first pitch is 4:00 Eastern. And I believe UAPB runs a lot of their stuff on their YouTube feed. So that's the Golden Lion Sports Network, I believe, is where you can lock in and catch that game. Softball team will open up their 3-game series at Alabama State in Montgomery, Alabama, 6:00 Eastern. And I believe that will be on SWAC TV. Alabama State streams a lot of their stuff, so that should be on SWAC TV as well. On Saturday, our track and field teams, the men and the women, begin at the USF Spring Break Invite in Tampa, Florida. I saw Rick Kinsey in the chat talking that, letting us know that I'm sure that the Tampa Rattlers will be looking out for our track team out there. It'll be a busy weekend because I know the NCAA opening rounds are happening out there in Tampa, so it'll be a busy weekend in Tampa. But if you're in the Tampa area, get over to USF and check out the spring invite beginning at 8:00. Bowling tournament begins at 9. Women's tennis, we are at Southern University taking on Southern in Baton Rouge, 11 a.m. Southern's got some nice new tennis courts. I don't know if you've seen those lately.
I haven't.
Yeah, Southern's got some really nice new resurfaced tennis courts. I don't know if Southern's doing any streaming though. So keep yourselves locked in to SWAC TV. But the start time is scheduled for 11 a.m. Eastern time. Softball first pitch of the game 1 of the doubleheader begins at 2:00 Eastern against Alabama State. Game 2 scheduled for 4:00. Baseball has a 3 in the afternoon game, 3 Eastern against Arkansas and Pine Bluff. That's game 2 of the series. And then on Sunday, if the bowling team is still alive, they will compete in the championship. Probably the final matches will be Sunday, beginning Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. Track and field at the USF Spring Break Invite for day 2 of that meet will be beginning at 8 a.m. on Sunday. And then only baseball will be playing later that afternoon in game 3 of their 3-game series at Arkansas Pine Bluff. So there you go. There's your rundown.
Also, on Monday, the golf team will be at Bridgestone Collegiate Invitational in California.
Wow.
And softball coming from Montgomery, they play Auburn University, which is Coach Bill's alma mater, at 7 p.m.
Okay. I'm just putting something in the chat here. Anything else we missed?
No, I think we covered everything now.
All right. In the chat, guys, I'm putting the oh, that's a long chat. That's not going to work. I was about to put in the link to join the Survivor contest, the NCAA Survivor contest. Those of you who want to get in on that, I'm going to put the link in here for you. It's the BCSN Sports Rap Madness Survivor Contest. So that is that's the link here. Come on, where's the create the link? What are we doing? All right, here we go. Put that in the chat. Any other thoughts or anything we missed or anything that you want to cover, Kelvin?
No, I don't think so. Enjoyed both guests today. Looking forward to our Rattler sports team doing what they do when it comes to spring sports and swag play. A lot of winning. We winning, man. On and off the field.
All right. As it relates to our HBCUs, don't forget Southern women will be playing 7 o'clock in the first 4 tomorrow night. We also will get
Tennessee
the
State,
Howard. What do you say?
Oh, I would say Tennessee State plays too.
Yes, well, Tennessee State plays Iowa State tomorrow. I don't have the exact game time right in front of me. And Howard plays Michigan tomorrow. So all of that's happening on Thursday. And then, of course, Friday, you've got Prairie View taking on Florida. That's the late night match, late night game. So this is going to be a busy weekend. I got all the things I need to just kind of to set up my quad box on my TV, my quad screens. I don't need multiple TVs. Just going to set up 4 screens, 4 windows, and just kind of sit back and watch the tournament. Might go somewhere to a watering hole somewhere. I don't know, but we'll see. You filled out your bracket yet?
I did it on Monday. Men and women.
All right. Who's your final? Now, how many brackets did you do?
I only do one, man.
One? Wow, that's pretty
only
big.
do one.
Okay. So let's compare. Who's your final 4?
And on both sides, I'm going mostly with the ones.
Okay.
You know, on the women's side, it's pretty easy because South Carolina, Connecticut, UCLA, pretty much pencil those 3 in. They'll be tough to beat. But I think I went chalk with all number 1 seeds. With the men's side, I didn't. Even though when Duke's the 1 seed, they got a couple of players hurt. They got a tough bracket. I'm predicting that they would be the 1 seed that don't make it on the men's side. I like Houston. I like Florida. And Michigan, I think it was my other one.
So you went Florida and Michigan?
No. I'm predicting to win it all. I like Houston. as a 2 seed. I like Houston.
Okay.
And on the women's side, UConn has been really dominant, but I think if they end up facing UCLA, I'm going UCLA.
Okay. My final four on the women's bracket, which again you can join our we have a men and a women's bracket, free to join these bracket contests on ESPN. By the way, winners get an opportunity to co-host one of the BCSN Sports Wrap episodes with us, with myself and AD Drew on a Sunday. My final four on the women's side, I've got UConn versus South Carolina, 2-1 seeds going chalk. And then UCLA and Michigan. I'm going a 1 versus a 2. My championship game is UConn versus UCLA, and I'm going with the Huskies. I'm going with Gino and the girls to get the 13th title for UConn.
So we had the same finals. It's just that I'm going UCLA.
You're going with UCLA. Okay. Let's see. Over on the men's side, let's see. My men's final four is I'm
Arizona.
going with.
I forgot Arizona because that's who I predict to win on the men's side. I only said 3. I didn't say Arizona. That's my prediction to win on the men's side.
Oh, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then we are simpatico in that, because my final four consists of St. John's, a 5 seed, Illinois, a 3 seed. Then I went with 2 1s. I went with Arizona and Michigan, 2-1 seeds. And Illinois versus Arizona in the championship game, and I'm going with Arizona.
Arizona and who in the championship game?
Illinois. Illinois is in the South bracket with Florida.
I'm telling you, I got it in the weeds, man. Illinois didn't finish the season strong. They struggled down the stretch.
Okay.
You in trouble.
Look, I didn't want to see. Now that you've done that, and I don't want to poo-poo on your Houston. So I just kind of stayed quiet there. But see, now that you've done that, I don't. Okay. Houston, I was like, Houston. Okay. This isn't last year's Houston team. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
They got 3 starters. They got 3 starters from that team though, and defense travels.
Okay. Yeah, but at some point you got to put the ball in the hole. And that's what worries me about Houston. I don't think they. Now, my X factor in all of this though, if Dupe gets healthy, if Dupe gets one of them 2 dudes back by the Sweet 16, maybe Duke can get to the Final Four. And then if they get the other, the only reason I'm not picking Duke is health. If Duke were healthy, I would pick them as a runaway, because I think they have the X factor. I think they have the best player in the tournament, which is the kid Boozer.
Yeah.
He is the X factor winner, and he just finds ways to win. His teams win. Here's
why I didn't pick Duke though. I got them going to the 8, but I think they're gonna get upset. The health part was the first part of it, but I was able to watch them play Florida State twice.
Yeah.
And they should have lost both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
So,
speaking of Florida State, I got to rip. I'm ripping every team that puts out these lame posts about, we're going to reprioritize, and we want to thank everybody for a great season, but we're going to decline to play any more postseason because we didn't get into the NCAA tournament. And I'll say what's crazy is, as good as Florida State has played down the stretch,
right,
Florida State would have been a very dangerous team in the NIT.
Yes.
Very dangerous team.
Favored to win.
And just think what that could have done for a first-year coach rebuilding a program. Right. But I don't know, people, it's all, I swear, those these opt-out things by programs are so lame that it just they're disgusting. So I mock them when I see them. I straight mock them because I'm like, what happened to? I just can't for the life of me, Kelvin, imagine seniors not wanting to play one or two more games.
Well, I mean, you get a chance if you make it to the finals of that thing. You get to play in ain't the final still in the MSG in New York?
No, actually, you know what? The NIT is even played in Indianapolis. They moved, so it's all in the same city. So the NIT, the Division II National Championship, all of them are playing in the city of Indianapolis.
Oh, so the NCAA is
the
home
the
office.
NCAA.
Yeah, they done brought it home. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but,
well, I mean, but actually they tried to put them all in the same city. So it's kind of becomes like a college basketball mecca for the weekend or for the 3-4 days where we're going to put as many basketball related events around in the city that's hosting the national championship game. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Okay. All right.
But
to your point in terms of the opt-outs, I think it's important as universities that we teach life lessons. And I just think that when you commit to something, you finish it. I know that's old school, but yeah, if you commit to something and that you want every opportunity to expose your program to success, and they would have been hosting the first round game, so your fans would have had another opportunity to cheer and support you. And I don't know.
See, this is where the NIL contracts will start to get redone here in the next year or two, because they will change the language that says you agree to participate in postseason, even if it is not the NCAA tournament, in order to receive whatever now, if we don't make the tournament, that's one thing. But if we have the opportunity to go and you choose not to go, well, then you forfeit X amount of dollars. I can't wait to have that discussion about the contracts and the language of NIL and revenue sharing. And Gail's being a hater about my Illinois pick. That's all right. I'm about to go back and now you both have made me want to go back and read. Well, I'll tell you this. When I do my second bracket sometime at like 1:00 this morning, I will probably change those two picks, St. John's and Illinois. Those are because even though, again, my first pick, my sheet of integrity, that was my first choice. But when I enter my other contest, I will probably change those two. And I don't know. I just don't know who else I like. I don't like Houston. I'm sorry. I just don't. I got to do my research on I know what Florida has, but there's something that Florida makes me nervous because
they got that size though, man.
But
and
you know
they
what?
They got it in spades. It's just they just keep coming.
But here's what I want you to think about. Most teams that repeat as champions usually have the core players returning from the previous year. Florida lost 4 guards who were heavy contributors, 3 of them to the NBA. 4 guards off of last year's championship team. Now, I know all the post players came back, right? But what you're telling me is that I can trust these new group of guards that Florida had. I just don't know if I can trust them. I just don't know if I can trust them in 6 games, especially when the last 3 will be the toughest games of their career. I don't know. But
they've been playing well down the stretch. They're going in with momentum.
I know they've been playing well, but
That's what I look at. Who playing well going into the tournament? Who hot?
No, hey, look, it's the same it's the same strategy that we talked about last week going into the SWAC tournament, right?
Yeah.
And sure enough, I said the two teams that were playing the best were who? Prairie View and Florida A&M.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad at myself for not dropping a little, pizza money down on Prairie View, because I'd have been enjoying myself this whole weekend. But needless to say, I didn't do that. And, by the time I trusted FAMU, it was too late. But anyway, but hey, okay. Well, I'll probably reconsider and probably do my other bracket. I may ride with Florida and kind of keep my fingers crossed and see what happens. But the state of Florida actually has 4 teams in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the state of Florida becoming a basketball state again. Can't do it in football, but anyway. No, I'm just kidding. But, all right. Well, hey, I want you all to join any one of our contests. I put the link for the Survivor contest. Hope you'll consider joining me there. Also, join the ESPN March Madness men and women's bracket contest. You can check the Twitter handle, my Twitter handle at DRB365, and you'll see more of the information on how to sign up for those links. So, all right. No, EA continues to talk about this. What did we bet, EA? You got to remind me. What? I don't recall. Did I lose a bet with you? You got to remind me, EA. I don't know what you're thinking of, but you know how to reach me. Send me an email. All right. That's going to do it for tonight's show. Got to thank Marvin Green. Got to thank Dupe Oloyede for joining us tonight. And everybody in the chat, we appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up and the like button. Hey, go check out the BCSN Pod Zone. It's the podcast that has all of the shows that are on the Black College Sports Network all week. It's available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Just search BCSN Pod Zone, download, and subscribe. All right. We'll talk later, EA. We'll talk. All right. For Kelvin Roger, I'm Brian Fulford. Thank you, Rattler Nation. Thank you for all your support of our show. Hit the thumbs up, like button. Make sure to share the show with your friends and family wherever you can. That's going to do it for tonight. Be well. Have a great week. Happy March Madness. And fangs up. Go Rattlers wherever you are. And we'll see you again next Wednesday night right here. Same bat time, same bat channel. The O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Peace out.